My name is April Goggans, and I represent BLMDC, and I've been a proud Ward 8 resident for almost half my life. This is a performance oversight hearing on MPD, so let's talk about performance. Let's imagine hypothetically that MPD performed exactly as it was built to and protected to perform by murdering me today. Not a rogue officer, not a tragic mistake, but the logical outcome of, are you listening? No, I'm just making sure Brooke she was a little busy. But the logical outcome of policy, budget, and political protection. Since 2001, MPD has operated with expanded federal patrol authority. Since 2006, it's expanded CCTV surveillance. Since 2008, ShotSpotter has blanketed black neighborhoods. Since 2012, GunStat escalated enforcement. Since 2018, Project Safe Neighborhoods layered coordination. Since 2021, federal gun strike forces have wreaked havoc on our city. Since 2022, flock cameras and expanded license plate readers. And since 2024, a real-time crime center integrating surveillance and federal databases. And through it all, MPD's budget has grown every year, every request, every expansion approved. Even when the violence grew, that's MPD's performance. Now imagine a confrontation shaped by that performance. If MPD did what it was designed to do and what Councilmember Pinto fights for, the officer who killed me would be deemed justified. He would have followed policy. He would have been placed on paid administrative leave. The MAGA fanatic police union chair, Greg Pemberton, would defend him. The mayor would defend MPD. The council would say they're waiting for investigation, but say nothing to my parents or my daughter. And MPD would investigate MPD because that's the pattern. And if there were a vigil for me, some of the same council members who voted to expand MPD's power would get on the mic and cry. They would mourn me publicly while continuing to fund the system that made my death possible. They would call it tragedy. They would call for calm, and they would pass another enforcement bill. Because the point is not safety. The point is about preservation of the institution. MPD's culture would activate. The character assassination would begin. She was anti-police. She was radical. She was unstable. They would dissect my life like evidence. They would say I was a single mother, as if that makes me disposable. They would say I survived abuse, as if surviving abuse makes me violent. They would say I'm in recovery, as if healing makes me unstable. They would weaponize my humanity. They would turn my resilience into suspicion, my survival into pathology, my truth into justification for my death, not to understand me, but to make what happened to me feel reasonable, not to humanize me, but to make my humanity suspicious, to imply that I was responsible. That is not reform or failure, that is design. White supremacy does not require open slurs. It requires expanding budgets regardless of harm, surveillance concentrated in black neighborhoods. And once the smoke clears, it's back to Secure DC, back to expanded detention.